Grab
There
my
we go.
pen. Oh, there we are. Look, we're live now. There we are. Folks, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all, and welcome to your weekly Shy Talk armchair analysis and all that shite. Mauls, balls, and all. With me, and we're waiting on two more attendees, but we decided to go ahead because we are late. With me is Mike Reedy and Sarah Duffy for the moment. We are waiting on Richard
Evening,
Holland
folks.
and Claire Duffy. Hello, Claire Devaney.
Hello.
Sarah Duffy, how are you doing? Are you well?
I'm great. I'm glad to be back on the show again now, a bit more consistently. Yeah, all good. Hi, Danny.
Hi, Danny.
Yeah,
First, there's Danny. How are you, Danny?
let's start talking rugby.
Now, I tell you what, before we get into the games and all that, right? Hold on. Oh, Jesus Christ, there's questions flowing in here already. This thing that, Sarah, I'll go to you first on this and your thoughts on this, because it tends to raise its head. Here's Richard Holland now.
How are we?
Richard Holland,
Evening,
how are you?
Richard.
Are you well in yourself?
Not too bad yourself. How are you, Sarah?
Now-
I haven't seen you this long time.
I'm good, thanks. Yeah, all good with you?
Yeah, all good, all good.
Shall we have a fucking glass of champagne or something here? Or
Oh, I'd love a
will you-
glass
will
of
you-
Should, you
champagne.
know.
Stop fucking water.
Tea for me.
Right, no, tea for you. Okay, right, fair enough. Sarah, as I said, come to you first. This issue, which tends to raise its head every year, particularly around the Six Nations. Bernard Jackman brought it up there recently in an interview, and it's about these foreign-born players. He was asking, or he suggested, that they relax the rules on the foreign-born players to about 4 or 5 per province, right? Now, if you look at it over the years, you know, Leinster had Nasewa, Brad Thorne, Gibson Park. We have at the moment with James Lowe. Ulster had Pienaar, Vermeulen. Munster had CJ Stander. They had Snyman, Connacht, whoever, whatever.
Malaki.
Grant.
Bundy Aki.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, James Grennan, how are you? Sarah, what do you, is this something that you would support or think will be beneficial to rugby? Irish rugby?
I actually think, in my own opinion, and I would say it's my own opinion, I'm completely fine with it, and I agreed. I mean, anything Bernard Jackman says is usually, it's straight talking. There's no bullshit about him. You know, yeah, rules are rules, but there's a heap of rules for everything these days. But I think let those young players develop. Like when Rocky Elson came on to the Leinster team, there was all questions about him, and then he started playing great rugby, and then everybody thought he was great. But if you're not true born, bred, blooded Irish firsthand, you know, after being born up in the Rotunda Hospital, you know, I just think let them develop. You know, there's a question mark over it, like, but I have no issue with it whatsoever. I think it's good. Open it up. Like, look what all those players you just listed off did for each province. Like, look at Aki, like Bundy Aki. Best rugby of his career, his life. They'd be lost without him. And Ulster would have been lost without Ruan Pienaar as well, you know, not to mention a few, but we would have been lost without Nasewa as well in Leinster. You know, CJ Stander from Munster, yeah. They made a huge impact. I think run with it. Let these players develop in their squads and then move on.
All right. Mike Reedy, what's your opinion on this?
I have a very strong opinion on this, to tell you the truth. I have absolutely zero problem with development players or players that have the potential to play for Ireland. But I have a serious problem with people like Snyman and Vermeulen. As far as I'm concerned, all they are is here for the money, and they're okay. They bring Snyman's brought absolutely nothing to Munster. Really, he's played a total of 288 minutes for Munster, and he's played 344 minutes in the World Cup. Now, there's something fucking wrong with that, as far as I'm concerned. And it may all be genuine, but is he injured all the time? I don't know. I just don't. I don't want mercenaries coming to the country and taking the place of a potential Irish player. Now, Munster are in a position right now where they have to, where Tom Ahern has had to come in, and he's a brilliant player. And like Snyman and Klein are going to stop him and Dogbo from progressing, as far as I'm concerned. And there was all sorts of shouts at the weekend. This young Paddy Butler came on, and I thought he did quite well. And there's people saying, "Oh, we need this, we need that, we need to bring in somebody." And I thought, no, you don't. You need to develop the young fellas. Now, again, go back to all the players like Bundyaki, CJ Stander, James Lowe, Gibson Park. Those players, that's no problem with that. Anybody that has the potential to play for Ireland in the future, no problem. But bringing in mercenaries, I'm not in favour of it at all.
Right. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Good point, Mike. Good point, Sarah. Richard, where do you stand on this? The foreign player rule that Bernard Jackman brought up.
Well, I suppose it's a double-edged sword in a lot of ways. I mean, it does cut both ways. Just for every RG Snyman, we have a Doug Howlett. I'll put it to you that way. You know, it does work and it can work. I personally, obviously, there's no point in filling the team with mercenaries like a lot of French teams have done. It ultimately will destroy the game in a province or a country. But that being said, as you said, Brad Thorne, I think he only came up here, his stated objective when he came up here was to win a Heineken Cup. That's exactly what he wanted to do. But I don't really have an issue with it because it brings different perspectives and different coaching things and, you know, different points. You know, the stuff that wouldn't necessarily come from an Irish coach here. Someone might have thought of it in New Zealand and this guy is going to bring it to him, or South Africa, and he's going to say, well, that might actually work for our team, so we'll give that a go.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, Richard, there's a comment in there from someone, I can't see who it is. It just comes up as Facebook user. NIQ players, non-Irish qualified players, often give great leadership and experience to younger domestic players. I totally agree with that. I mean, Snyman has given the Munster medical staff a lot of experience over the years. Very funny. There's a place for the Rocky Elsoms, Nathan Hines, etc. in the provinces. I totally agree with that. I think that's quite accurate. You know, I think that's
Listen,
very
there's
accurate.
no doubt about it. Some years ago, when the likes of Rocky Elstrom and Hines and that came in, there was a necessity because we didn't have the volume of players that we do now. I mean, we're developing fantastic group of players in all the provinces, by the way. Well, maybe not so much Ulster at the moment, but there's players coming through in Connacht and in Munster, and obviously Leinster is just a fucking conveyor belt. And I'm more interested in developing them because look at South Africa, the success they've had, having their players all over the world playing fucking top level rugby every week.
And but Mike, don't forget, Mike, for their international squad, they have this this quota shite. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
The Welsh tried it too, I think, didn't they?
Well, the Welsh are shite.
Tried it.
They tried it.
They tried it in a lot of bollocks. But you know what I mean, Mike. So I don't know about that South Africa thing.
No, but they have players like, I mean, the likes of Klein and Snyman and I mean, they're all, and Vermeulen. These guys have played top level rugby for the last 4 years in other countries, and like we're not allowing that to happen. We're not allowing our players to go to France, for instance, which I agree with. Again, I think the Irish model is working, and I don't think we should deviate too much from it the way it is right now.
All right, fair enough. How are you, Matt? How's Daddy Hood? I hope you're keeping well, old bean.
He's chatting to us in between feeds, I'd say.
Good man, Matty.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good man, Matt. Fair play to you.
Like Danny Brosnan.
Now, Danny Brosnan, yeah. Jesus Christ.
Now,
I'll tell you what.
Supply of milk.
The Brosnan on us, the fucking the Wi-Fi gate. Is that what we're calling it? But listen, I'll tell you what. The criteria for playing for Ireland, right? Here we go. right? Obvious one, you're born here. Your parent or your parent or your grandparent is here. You've lived here for 60 consecutive months, or you've completed 10 years of cumulative residency. I don't really know what the fucking difference is there anyway. But here we go. Now, as I was reviewing or researching today's show, wait, you hear this, right? 2021, Richard, Sarah, Mike, right? 2021 in the Six Nations, 59 foreign players were in the Six Nations, right? So across all six teams, obviously.
So
2022, yeah, 2021, yeah. So 2022, it increased to 73 players. And then this year, it decreased to 55 players. So,
Okay.
Richard, any comment on that, or does that make any relevance or whatever?
I'm assuming half of them were Scottish.
Now,
17 of them anyway.
Funny you should say that. I'll give you a quick breakdown. And now I don't know if this is 2023 or last year. Scotland had 22, Ireland had 10, Wales had 7, Italy had 7, England had 5, and France had 4. There you go.
What the fuck?
It's interesting. But then I suppose we live in a multicultural society now as well, I suppose. So, he's a friend of mine. I worked with him for years, and he's Polish, but his two young lads play GAA and love the sport. He'll tell you to this day he doesn't know what's going on, but he loves the sport, and so do his kids.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, okay,
that's fine. I have no problem with guys that come and can qualify to play for Ireland. I have no problem with that at all. But guys coming to wind down their career is my issue. And take money.
But your Mike, Irish players have gone to France to wind down.
Paul O'Connell was.
That's fair enough. Fair enough if they're prepared to do that.
Yeah. Okay. Right. But okay, we're going to move on from this. Sarah Duffy, any last thoughts on this whole thing?
No.
You just
give a shite. Rules are rules, but there's a load of rules. Like, so somebody, you're going to tick the box. Yeah, come on. Honestly, just let them flip and play rugby, the sport we all love watching. It's too much. That's where the politics comes into this lovely sport. Away with the fucking politics, or it'll turn into fucking football.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, there's just a comment there. In fact, have Leinster won a Heineken Cup without an NIQ player in the squad like Issa, Rocky, or Hines? Look at Raj with Skelton. Provinces need to concentrate on European competitions as well as bringing through Irish players, as if we can't compete in Europe, then we lose Irish players abroad. Yeah, that's fair enough. I think that we just mentioned that, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we touched on it.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Next subject I want to talk about before we start talking about the games that happened. Wayne Barnes. And I saw it. I watched it.
I didn't see it.
Interviewed on. I know it's fucking disgraceful. He was interviewed. I watched it for the sake of this show. He was interviewed on BBC. And he basically said that about the abuse that refs get.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, and I quote, "When people make threats against your wife and kids, they should be held to account and punished.
100%.
Threats of sexual violence, threats of saying we know where you live, that crosses the line." Now, Mike Reedy, how do we stop this from happening? Because that's absolutely fucking disgraceful. How do we do it? How do we deal with this?
The media outlets have got to have more restrictions. Not even restrictions, but people have to be accountable for anything. And I mean, you can get jailed for posting stuff online, and you should be held accountable. Definitely should be held accountable for and anybody that portrays any racial or sectarian abuse or whatever on social media has the potential to be jailed. And the same should apply to, I mean, any sporting outlets these people should be held accountable. You can't just hide behind a keyboard and with a false picture or whatever, and not have any repercussions for threat. That's if you're threatening somebody's life, that's like that. The police have got to deal with stuff like that, as far as I'm concerned. That's not totally not acceptable. It's not acceptable to give anybody any abuse anywhere.
No.
There's no necessity for it.
Right.
But I don't know.
Except Munster lads. Except Munster lads. You can use it. Yeah, So, there you go. Sarah Duffy, this whole abusing the referees thing. Is there a way around this, or how do you stamp this out?
Unfortunately, it's a sign of the world we live in now with social media and the platform it creates. But I think rugby itself is at a crossroads at the moment.
All right.
For me, there is 3 big issues that need to be looked at. And I'll just get to that. For one, the laws and the directives around these things, like head contact, because current laws and sanctions are not changing players' behaviour, we still see the inconsistencies in decisions by the referees. Do you know, the thing on Wayne Barnes is whether you think Wayne Barnes has had a good game or a bad game, is irrelevant. Nothing justifies the amount of abuse that comes his way in the last couple of months or few days, particularly around those death threats. Yeah. It's simply and totally unacceptable, as you've said, Peter. He's a top-class referee and a person who was given the best part of 30 years to the game.
Yeah.
It's just not nice, but it's, he has to deal with it, unfortunately, for his family's sake. But sadly, I actually think it's really not going to change anytime soon. I hate to say it, but I just think it's where we are, that crossroads we are with the game, and all those other inconsistencies that have built up. It's easier to take it out in the man in the middle.
But Sarah, you've been involved in sports, be it Gaelic or football and all that. You're standing on the sidelines. Do you see the parents going bananas at the ref?
But it's the parents, it's the coaches, it's the win at all costs, the elitism of the dark ages and stuff that is creeping into it's the
Go on, Mike.
You'd see that even if you go to the RDS or the sports grounds, you'll always get that handful of the dark ages supporters and the sideline, no matter what sport it is, shouting abuse as if they're on the pitch and they have a right to do it. You've no right. There's no dignity in doing that. It's a monkey see, monkey do. So they do it and the kids do it. And there's no respect there.
Didn't you have a go at a parent one time at a game? Was it? Were you telling me this one stage? You had a go at a parent or something who had a go at, or was screaming abuse or whatever it was at some kid on the pitch, and you went up to them and said, you confronted them basically.
100%.
Yeah.
And now, I don't know if I'm a child welfare officer as well for my local football club, but you can't do that. You have no right to do that because it automatically impacts the people on the pitch, be it they're children, junior, intermediate, adolescents, adults. You have to have the respect. Don't get me wrong. God almighty, when I played and the referee would say, you can't do that, you're offside. Are you joking me? And you're up there.
Yeah.
You have to control yourself. But I just feel some of these inconsistent way. I was lambasted there a couple of weeks ago online on the Irish Rugby Banter page for having a go at Wayne Barnes. Absolutely not. I was just saying our biggest worry is Wayne Barnes if we get him against South Africa. That's not the case. He's an incredible referee, and I have the utmost respect for somebody who gives 30 years to the game.
Yeah, grand job. Okay. Good points there, and well made, and you too, Mike, as well. Richard, this the abuse that refs get, it's obviously not justified. But how do we stop it?
I don't. Well, it's pure and simple. It's a hate crime. In my view, it's as sure as threatening to kill a celebrity or threatening to go out and kidnap someone. It's a hate crime, and that's how you deal with it. And you literally nail their balls to the floor over it. And if someone does it, you go after them and you don't show any mercy to them. If they're brave enough to do this behind the keyboard, would they be brave enough if someone comes up to them, as Sarah did, and stare them down? And
but you know,
they're bullies. They're bullies, but they're bullies, Peter. You know as well as if you stand up to a bully, 9 times out of 10 they back off because they don't know what to do. This is how they. This is how you deal with shit like this.
Yeah, there's a point there from new dad. I'm calling him new dad, right? Matt Boland, our pal and colleague, make an example out of someone. Fake account can be tracked with the IP addresses. The authorities need to do something. No one deserves a death threat. Quite true. Or threatening sexual violence is utter disgusting, and these keyboard warriors need to be shot with their own balls of shit.
Probably.
I couldn't have put it better myself, Matt.
Tell us how you really feel, Matt.
Yeah, tell us.
Challenge his inner Peter Burke there, huh?
Yeah, well, Matt doesn't sit in the fence. You
can't be throwing a better shite at him.
Yeah, there you go. We'd have to behave ourselves for our guest who's on next week. We'd say nothing. Who's this? Sorry, to be honest, rugby refereeing is probably at its toughest point in history too. Constant new rugby rules, laws even, from rugby incident to short red card for head contact. Split-second decisions are tough, then backed up by TMOs, not full of match referee status. Right, okay, well, I'll tell you what. We're going to shoot off onto a tangent here, and we kind of spoke briefly about it last week. Well, sorry, a lot about it last week. Mike, just a bit, there's loads of questions coming in here, but about the refereeing thing. But Mike, the bunker ref, is this working for rugby?
It can work, it can. It
will
work.
Is it? It
hasn't worked during the World Cup. Now it was a trial basis, and it's still early stages. But I don't think it's a bad thing. I think they didn't apply it properly. They had too much control over what was going on in the games, as far as I could see. Some of the decisions were bonkers, and the biggest problem I think is the lack of consistency. Now they didn't portray any level of consistency either, as the referees or TMOs didn't. So I think it will work, to be honest with you. And I don't think it's a bad thing, but it certainly wasn't great in the World Cup.
Right. Now, did you see what Nigel Owens came out and said about it? He said that they're not international referees running the bunker. So how can they give?
That shouldn't be.
So yeah, Sarah Duffy, the bunker ref,
I'm kind of on the fence about the whole thing because of what Nigel owns. He kind of swayed me. The fact that you don't have international, it should be across the board. You have to be a team, like the way they do the football. They have the ref, the officials, and the VAR are also of the same qualification. You have to have it the same across the board.
100%.
You can't get any sort of Billy Brave bollocks in there going, actually, hang on there a second.
Sure, any one of us four could be a fucking bunker ref.
Exactly. No, we get Stevie Wonder in there next.
Now here's a thing. Why wouldn't somebody like Nigel Owen be doing this?
Sorry, say that again, Mike. What?
Why wouldn't somebody like Nigel Owen and now Wayne Barnes, retired referees? They're the ones that should be bunkers, because they can sit by, like in the office and make decisions, and they'll know the right decisions to make.
Because they told their fucking wives or husbands that they're retiring and they'll spend more time at home, and their partners will probably fucking kill them if they said, "Oh, I'm actually going to be, I'm going out, love." What are you doing? I'm going to be a bunker ref. Would you fuck off? Get back here. You're retired. Anyway, Richard, this whole idea of the bunker ref, is it working? Is it a lot of bollocks? Do they need to improve it, or what's going on?
There's definitely room for improvement, I think. I mean, a lot of times a difficult decision that the referee, rightly or wrongly, I know we were defending him a minute ago, but they use the bunker as a way of going, well, I'm not going to make this decision, I'm going to kick it away, basically, by throwing up the X when there were yellow carding somebody. And I can't remember how many, basically every yellow card in the last World Cup was followed by the ref doing
Yeah.
There is room for improvement, and it could work. I'll put it that way. It could work, but it needs to be tweaked. What tweaks to bring in? Definitely someone who has experience as an international referee.
It has to be a top-class referee.
Yeah.
No. I think when I would agree with what Brent Pope said, that in principle it's a good idea, but I think we've all said it. In principle it's a good idea, but it just needs to be better for the game, because at the moment it's not working. And I think we've all alluded to the fact that the inconsistencies in the bunker ref is, it's apparent for everyone to see, And there's Gregor Galway. How are you, Gregor? He says agree with that commentary. Mike, Nigel Owens and Barnes should be bunker referees. Yeah, I don't think their partners would go along with that now, Gregor. As I said, if they've retired, but I don't think so. Hold on, here's another one. Nigel and Wayne shouldn't do bunker because the ref has to be seen as the ultimate authority, and they would upstage any ref with their experience. You see, now it is a fair point, and as I said last week, will we ever see a case where a ref will show a straight red card again? Mike,
I don't think you will.
Question. I don't think you will. Sarah?
No.
You won't. Like,
not Richard. You obviously will if there's no bunker facility.
But ultimately, it's just not the role of the TMO anyway.
No, it is. It is. But I mean, what the point I'm trying to make is that what is like the bunker ref was advertised as a thing from World Rugby to speed up the game, right? And then we get the ref on the pitch, the yellow card, and then he does this fucking shite for review. Your man is off for 10 minutes, and then it comes back after 5, 8, 10, whatever the fuck it is. It's been upgraded to red. So why can't the ref, if it's an obvious fucking red card,
He should be.
right?
Should be.
For example, Sam Kane's shoulder charge in the final, that was an obvious red card, straight red card. So why couldn't the ref just go red card? And I asked this question last week. Brent and Victor, and they both said, yeah, well, we'd hope we would see it. What do you reckon? Are we going to see it, Richard?
Probably not now, because it's a kind of a get out of jail free card where the referee will throw this thing up. Probably tying into our first topic as well, in that, if I do this, will I only give a yellow card, but it was upgraded to a red? It wasn't my decision. So you're probably not going to see anyone, a ref or whoever, throwing out another red card, unless someone tries to decapitate somebody.
But the bunker is not being used now in the URC, is it?
No.
So it's just basically been the World Cup, and that's it so far. So what is it going to be the case in international rugby only, or what?
I don't know, Mike. I don't know, Mike, to be honest with you. Maybe the Champions Cup, maybe the Heineken Cup. I don't know. Sarah, any last thoughts on this before we move on?
It just looks like they're all mouth, no balls when they have to go to the TMO or the bunker ref. I don't think they would see a straight red anymore. If that's the way they're going to carry on, maybe they'll do it for the Six Nations or something. I don't know, but I just think, I think it's a load of bollocks, to be honest with you.
Right, fair enough.
Who said that? Yeah, lads. Yeah, that other comment that was just in there, it's gone.
Sorry, what? Sorry, I missed it.
biggest cause of slowing down the game in resetting scrums. We need more forwards as refs.
What?
They'll need
They
a
need
little
little-
golf cart to get around the pitch because they won't be able to run around the pitch for 8 minutes. So,
Dara Weston.
Dara Weston. Actually, Dara Weston is going to be our guest next week, by the way.
Good man, Dara.
golf cart.
yeah. Here we go.
Like Donald Trump.
Surely that depends on the angle the ref is standing at. So much depends on it. If he has any doubt, he has to send it upstairs. Yeah,
Well,
all right,
it's
that's
fine
fair
sending it
enough.
upstairs and let the TMO talk about it, and they can discuss it amongst themselves. But the referee should ultimately make the decision of whether something has been upgraded or not. I'm not. You know something? The more I think about it, Bunker is, especially if it's going to be somebody that's not qualified to do the job in the first place. So, like, you know, why should he be having the ultimate decision that the referee should be making? We're going to have fucking robots like making decisions on games before long.
They'll be playing next.
Well, that's true, actually.
Well,
Sarah, actually, just on a side to all this, now that Wayne Barnes has retired, who do you think is going to be the number one ref in the world? Probably not Matthew Carley, because he came in for severe criticism. Anyone else?
Frank Murphy.
Would you fuck off,
Moonpig.
Frank Murphy?
I knew I'd get a
Moonpig.
reaction.
Yeah, get away.
Go away.
Actually, just a general question. Any ref you think is good at the moment?
I think Gardner
probably
isn't
can't.
too bad.
Who?
Angus Gardner, he's okayish.
Oh, the Australian fella.
But I will say I prefer Northern Hemisphere referees refereeing all games.
Joy Neville.
But
Joy
Neville,
Neville's excellent referee. But
Holly Davidson.
Holly Davidson.
Holly
Yeah,
Davidson
there
is
you
a
go.
great ref.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd like to
Maybe
see
Stuart
them.
else
Hogg is going to
are-
come out of retirement and be a referee, Peter.
Who?
Stuart Hogg.
Who?
He'll come out of retirement and be a referee. You be in your element.
What? Oh, I thought you were being serious. I was like, what?
Fuck off. Stuart Hogg, fucking load me fucking bollocks. So anyway, so no. Shit, sorry. Any number one refs coming out? No, so no one. So Stuart Gardner
At the moment,
Angus Gardner.
I'll tell you who I really
and
like.
Holly
That
Davidson
Georgian
would
guy,
be.
Ashvili or Ash.
Oh, yeah, actually the Georgian fella.
Yeah, I like him. I think
Yeah,
he's
he's
all
good,
right.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I know the fella you're talking about.
No,
Yeah.
I think
You know
Joy
the
Neville will
Georgian-
top the whole lot now.
Yeah, okay, right, fair enough. Anyway, the governing body of all of this, right? The governing body of all of this is World Rugby, and we had this chat last week, and I was just interested to hear your thoughts on this. Richard Holland, are World Rugby doing their job, or are they making a fucking bollocks of this?
In regards to the referee,
In regards to everything, the sport in general, the draw, the Johnny Sexton thing before the World Cup, everything. Is Bill Beaumont and his fucking ancient cronies making a bollocks of this?
Yeah.
you just made my point for me when you said ancient cronies. It needs younger blood in there at this stage. It's like even with the referee, and they drop stuff on him 2 weeks before a World Cup, so the referees have to try to simulate this and work it into the way they do things. Whereas that, in reality, if they were going to bring in the likes of this Bunker, that should have been done fucking 2 years ago, so that the referees are comfortable with playing with that system. High head contact now, granted, that does have to change, but 2 weeks before a World Cup, they changed the fucking rules again, and now the referees have to adjust to that. So they do that. World Rugby have made a bollocks of it, and there is definitely fresh blood needed at the top. And I'll vote for you, Peter.
Right. Okay. No. Sarah Duffy, are World Rugby making a bollocks of this?
No, I don't think so. That's what I kind of meant by rugby itself is at that crossroads. And I just think the laws and the directives around everything, and because the current laws and sanctions are still slightly inconsistent, and in certain decisions, I don't think they're making a bollocks of it. I don't. And there were certain aspects of those decisions around Sexton and stuff I did agree with, but I didn't agree with some as well. And I'm not throwing a grenade in before people start throwing all the comments up. I do have a couple of grenades later, but anyway.
All right, come on, Jesus Christ!
Throw it. I don't think
lob a fucking grenade there. Lob a grenade there.
Why aren't we talking about? Hold on, Gregor. Keep your bit of hair on, Pat. There, Pat.
Cool your fucking tits, Gregor, will you? Yeah, we're coming to it. Cool your tits, Gregor. We've an hour to fucking cover. So cool your
talking
tits.
bollocks about the World Rugby Organization and all that.
Mike Grady, our World Rugby.
I agree with what both of the lads said there. They are, but I see a lot of the laws of the game are actually decided they're reactionary laws. They're reacting to something that's happened in a particular game or whatever, and they're making decisions based on that, which isn't healthy. I mean, they have to sit down and make these laws and put them in place, and don't keep having to change them every year and every fucking 6 months. But they made a rip roaring fuck of the World Cup, the draw of the World Cup. That's completely everybody in the world agrees with that. And I do think we need. I mean, Bill Bowman should be retired a long time ago. He's the man is a dinosaur now in the game, and like he's been good for the game over the decades, to be fair. But
but he's a fucking idiot
now. There's got to be younger people now that
of course there fucking is. I mean,
it looks like what Bill Bowman. It looks like someone thaws him out every 4 years and just pushes him out in front of the crowd and then
exactly.
Well, if you look at even the punditry during the World Cup, I mean, they brought in fucking what's his name, the English 2003 coach. What's his name?
Sounds like
Woodward, Clive Woodward. I mean, some of the stuff he's coming out with, I'm thinking, you should be put away out the pasture now, buddy. You're
he's fucking he's
so like it's not an ageism thing. I'm fucking old myself, so it's not an ageism thing.
No, you're fucking ancient.
So it's like older people sometimes have good points of view, but Bill Bowman.
Senior moment.
Sorry.
I know, yeah. Sarah, we'll move off this. Sarah, in your humble opinion, did Ireland have a good World Cup?
Yeah, we did. Do you want me to detail that? I know we did. Like, look, there's always that we shoulda, coulda, woulda, taken chances at this, that, and the other. Like, would have taken more penalties, swung it first. I don't know. I think we had a good run. I think we had a good run with a good squad.
Right.
I'm not.
Was it
half the night about it, but I
know.
I was so sore after it and so upset after it. Like, I'm over it now, as most people are. But look, we've seen a lot of great players play and go, and you can't bring it back up. You can't.
All right. Okay. Just a simple question, Richard. Did we have a good World Cup?
We did, for the simple reason is on another day we beat New Zealand. That's how close that game was. It wasn't like we were hockeyed off the pitch. New Zealand had to play it to the end, and that's the thing about it. That's ifs and buts, but yeah, overall we had a good World Cup.
Okay, Mike Grady, did we have a good World Cup?
I think if we learn from we obviously made some mistakes particularly in the last game, and I think if we learn from that, then we can see it. Let's be honest, lads. We underachieved. We're number one in the world for a year and a half. We underachieved in that World Cup. A quarterfinal is not good enough for us now. It's not. and we have got that has got to. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I think the right people are in place to make it happen. I think Andy Farrell has been excellent, and I've heard people criticize him and say he's fucking clueless and stuff. I think Andy Farrell is excellent.
No.
And I do think we have to learn. I mean, we didn't utilize the bench enough. We didn't utilize the squad maybe enough during that World Cup. Now the guys were out on their feet in the last game. We still could have won it. It was a kick of a ball or a pass of a ball is always in between the top 4 teams. So South Africa were lucky. Make no mistake about it. They're a decent side, but they were lucky. We weren't. If we had a decent bit of luck there, we'd have got that result against New Zealand, and we'd been in the final then.
All right. Okay. Last point here about this, and we move on to this. I don't know who sent this in. Excuse me. TMO role needs redefined. Try or no try with area of jurisdiction, i.e. within the 22. TMOs have gradually been increasing their influence through constant interaction with refs and his 2 assistants. Should have decision making up to the 22. No chat from the ref. From TMO up to this, only assistants. TMO should only be allowed to have input if asked for by the ref. The ref normally does ask for that by the TMO.
I agree 100% with that.
That was the initial remit of the TMO when they came in. Is that the referee had to ask?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Now I have seen situations where TMO is sticking his nose in. There's offside there. There's offside there. There was a forward pass knock on. They should only be asked. They should only have input if they're asked. Definitely.
But I don't know about that. I mean, if like, for example, if a ref misses something and there's something blatant like a yellow card or a red card or whatever.
Oh no, if it's foul play, that's totally different. Foul play should be at all times. But if you the perfect example was New Zealand's one of their tries that there was disallowed. It went back 5 phases to a knock on at a line out, and the try wasn't given in the final. Now that shouldn't be allowed. That shouldn't be happening.
Anyway, right, folks, to satisfy Gregor Galway and his giving out. The Irish games, the provinces that played, right? We had, let's go through them. We had Leinster were up against Edinburgh. Leinster winning that 36 points to 27. Richard Holland, did you see that? Any thoughts on that? Or?
I did see it. When Leinster played, they were irresistible, but they switched off 3 times in the game, and effectively they Edinburgh back into it when they should have been outside. Granted, a very young Leinster team, and it's something that they learn from, but a good win for them, I suppose you'd say. But when they were good, but when they were bad, they were very, very poor.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Sarah Duffy.
Yeah, I've seen this. The younger lads grew into the game. Culhane is a super prospect to rugby. I thought Boyle and Barron, I think his name was, they were excellent at in the loose. If they improve in the scrum, I think they'll be serious players. I'm almost sure it was Boyle and Barron, I think.
Barron scored a try.
Osborne, he was excellent. I have a bit of a gripe with Harry Byrne anyway. Claire Devaney knows this anyway, but when he comes on, I kind of throw my eyes up and you can see the white in my eyes.
Why?
I just think no. He was a bit loose with some of those kicks, but played well overall. That's the most decent thing you're going to get out of me when it comes to him.
No. Hold on. You can't. What the fuck is your problem with Harry Byrne?
I just don't rate him.
Okay, that's
I just think he's maybe it'd be better this season. I just think he cost Leinster a little bit the last season. I tell you who I really feel for. I thought Tommy O'Brien. He had a decent old game as well. I I really feel for Larmer at the moment. I really do. He's just not. He hasn't got his edge.
Didn't
He's
have a
just
great game.
He what?
Yeah. He
What'd you
didn't
say?
have a great game.
No, I
He
just
didn't have
really
a great
feel
game.
for him for some reason because he's an amazing player, but he's got nothing going for him at the moment. But on the kind of Scotland end of thing, Ben Healy did score better points than Byrne. You know, Byrne got properly stood up by Kinghorn. You know, on one of those that lengthy try halfway down the pitch. I didn't even
Enjoyed that one.
He stood up.
Jesus. Kinghorn stood up. Yeah, come on now. That was...
Leinster were, they were superior considering the names they had on the team sheet.
Kinghorn.
Will Harry Byrne continue on in that 10 jersey? I have a big question mark. But I tell you, Ben Healy will certainly be Edinburgh's out half for the season at least. He
was shite though. He was fucking shite. He had a shit game.
He did what he needed to do though.
I reckon it was good we played them when we did. The younger players, should I say, I reckon it was good that the younger players on Leinster played them when they did, because they'll get better as the season matures. But it was a complete mixed bag performance, really. But happy to take the 5 points. I can't believe I just said that on fucking live.
Mike
Reedy, did you see the
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen. I'll be honest. I was quite impressed with Leinster because that's a very young team, a very inexperienced team as compared to. I mean, Edinburgh had nearly the full squad, and they were being put to the sword. But I agree with what Richard said there.
Yep,
I couldn't believe Leinster let them back into the game. They were fucking running away with it, and then they allowed them back in, and they've done it again. Like, they took their foot off the gas again. Tommy O'Brien, though, is a special talent. That boy is he's the real deal.
Mike, Edinburgh. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Edinburgh had 11 of their internationals back on that team, and I think Leinster had.
Van der Merwe was fucking dreadful. Dreadful.
A bad World Cup too.
Fucking shite. One trick pony.
Well,
he's going on to my list of. He's going on to my spoofer list.
Well,
is he going to take the wing place off Simon Zebo?
Yeah, Zebo's finished now. So.
No, I'll switch. I'll put Zebo. I'll put Zebo on one wing and Van der Merwe on the other wing. We'll leave it at that. I know.
No, listen, I wasn't. I mean, I think you're being harsh on Harry Byrne, by the way, Sarah. I think Harry Byrne was okay. And he's not the deal though for Leinster. Leinster needs somebody better than that. He's not good enough to be playing fly half for Leinster every week. And Ross, I'm not even sure Ross is either, to tell you the truth.
The brother.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I hope he is. I genuinely hope both of them are. And I really want this Prendergast to be the real deal, but we have to give the boy time. I really like. I mean, I said before, Tommy O'Brien is to me is going to be a special player, and young Osborne is as well. But
he's a good player, was he?
Leinster done what they needed to do. They got 5 points. They got a 5 point, which is what they set out to do, and that's a decent return against the full Edinburgh team. So, what are you laughing about now?
Yep.
I can't believe I said.
Next up, Sarah, come back to you.
Out loud. No offense to Sarah. Okay, no offense to Sarah, but
actually, I believe.
Okay. I think we should be saying disappointed effort of the players, but until we get this quarter-final monkey off our back, we shouldn't be satisfied. I mean, home nations basically automatically qualified, so yeah, it's a fair point.
Yeah.
No offense taken. I'm not easily offended.
Do you know who you're talking to, Facebook user? This is Sarah Duffy. There we go. We had a good World Cup, a kick of the ball between us and New Zealand. Remember, rugby is at its best third sport in Ireland. Yeah, but fair point, yeah. Okay. Another point here, and then we move on. Totally different subject. Should IRFU consider some form of draft system to spread the young talent between the provinces or further afield to give them game time and develop them as players? I think that's what David Humphreys and Nusafor before him tried to do. I think that's what David.
What the fuck?
Oh my God, what an echo! Just
Yeah,
got a
it's
bad
gone
echo
now.
there. Sorry about that, folks.
Yeah.
It's gone now. All right. Okay. Sorry, Richard. I'll go to you. Sorry, I got distracted by that. I didn't know what was going on there. Munster. Yeah, it was weird. Munster 45, Dragons 14. Richard, you being the Munster man along with Mike, what did you reckon? What did you think of that?
It was a good all-round game, I suppose. Obviously, with Carberry being out, there was a few young lads had to step up, and they did. I think even with RG Snyman now, we have a serious second row in a Dogbu and a Hearn. They're looking like they're going to be the boys on the block the way they're coming on. Again, good result.
Snyman is gone now for a few months.
That's what I mean. But they have a Hearn missed
Yeah.
all of last season. I think he missed. I think it could have been a knee injury, and a Dogbu as well. He's only 20, and he's an absolute unit.
He's a monster.
You know, at 20, and he's quick as well. He's athletic, as is Ahern, and he's the two of them to me are the quintessential modern second rows. They're mobile, they're good, they have good hands. So yeah, I was very, very happy with the result.
Are you happy with the progress that Roundtree is making with the team?
Oh, absolutely. You look, I mean,
Yeah.
I know we lost the first 4 games, I think, after Roundtree took over, and then we just took off, and that was it.
Well,
You know,
taken off now. That's a bit of a stretch.
well, we did. We
Lost 5 out of the first 7 games.
yeah. And then we just took off. You know, it's what is basically the same crop of players as the Spoofer coach had. Look what Roundtree has done with them. You know, it just goes to show you what a good coach can do and what a good team, with the likes of Dennis Leamy and that obviously coming back as well.
Do you know what I actually, funny, stupidly, I look up stupid stuff on the internet, and I was looking up cauliflower. I was looking up cauliflower ears, and apparently you can't fix them.
No.
And Rowntree has like 2 cauliflowers hanging off the side of his head. You know what I mean?
That's a terrible thing to say.
No, but he does, though. He does. I mean, if you look at him, I mean, Jesus Christ, there's growths going on there. I don't know what the hell is happening. But you actually can't fix it, apparently.
No. Because it's to do with poor blood flow in the cartilage, I think, and it's slow to heal. So I used to just use a bandage and as much tape as I could lay my hands on.
There you go.
Oh.
Didn't really want to know about your sex life there, Richard, but your however.
Little King Orange stands cock up.
Sarah Duffy, Munster versus Edinburgh. Munster winning that fairly comprehensively, we should say.
Dragons was actually.
Lads, would you stop?
Or Dragons, sorry, Dragons.
Dragons were missing, 19 or 20 of their players, for fuck's sake. Like,
they were missing fucking a lot more than that. They were fucking shite.
Easily 20 players.
And what?
The Dragons.
So what? You can only play what's put in front of you.
Anyway. That Gleeson play. I only seen the highlights of this. That Gleeson, he's a big man, isn't he? He's got a massive future ahead of him with Munster and Ireland. And I have to say, Munster have some class young forwards, in my opinion. In Dogbu, he is the closest to getting an international honour. I think the 20 years of age. Oh, be the Lord Jesus, stop. He was class.
If I see him running at me, I'm just going to lie down. That's the way I'd be. If I see him coming at me.
He wouldn't even be able to fucking run out of the way. That's the thing, would you?
Not at all.
There's
like James Grennan
player already. Sorry, Peter, I'm still talking here. You asked me a question and I'm trying to talk here. Jesus fucking Christ.
She's back.
Go on. Go on.
He looks like a seasoned player already, even at 20. And I tell you, that Gleason player and Culhane, they'll put Doris under serious pressure in a couple of seasons, in a season or two, for that position.
No, they won't.
They will. And that other player,
Rudin Quinn.
Nash, he also looks a bit like the real
Calvin
deal as
Nash
well.
is,
You know, their engine room is certainly looking good, is in good hands down in Munster, I think.
I'd agree with you about Calvin Nash. Calvin Nash is a class player. I'd agree with that, yeah. But I don't think Doris's position is under threat by anyone anytime soon. Anyway, I was going to say our colleague James Grennan has said, "Evening all. He's on the road and thanks for your company for the last hour. Interesting chat. Regards, James. James is in. He's in
Netherlands, isn't he?
He's in Holland. Yeah, he's in Holland. Yeah. Yeah, he's over. He's Dawson. He pretends he's doing work, but he's Dawson.
Nice.
Anyway, there you go. Mike Reedy, Munster v Dragons. Did you see it?
I did. Yeah, Munster very good. I mean, they were very good. They were efficient. Good up front. I know the Dragons team. It's difficult to judge, but you can only play what's in front of you. But Calvin Nash is definitely the real deal. He was unbelievable. His pace, power, accuracy. The same with I thought Casey had a decent game again. Paddy Butler, fly half, came in, done a job, and that's the future for me. I want to see all these young lads in playing. That's why I'm happy the way Leinster are right now, just playing young lads, giving them a chance. Let's see what they can do. I know it's the URC and all that, but we're never going to progress if we don't blood these guys and give them the chance. Why are you all laughing there?
No,
because I'll tell you why.
And the hairy burn.
Because Mike, Sarah is having a childish moment here, and she's having a giggly moment here because someone said, "I can't see it." But the person said, "Kinghorn, and Harry Byrne." There you go. That's enough to make Sarah laugh.
But I do think I think Munster are going to be Leinster's biggest opposition this year, along with the Stormers. I think it's between the three of them.
No,
going forward.
No. I no. Go away out of that, will you?
Okay.
Can you see Leinster getting a lot of points on Dragons? I don't know.
That's the next round, is it?
Yeah, they play on the weekend. I can see them putting 87.
We are playing. We're playing Dragons. We're away to the Dragons.
Matter of
Pity
fuck,
for
you could play when they're back up.
Injured. Yeah, there you go. Sorry, folks. More comments coming in. Dragons are missing loads. Yeah.
They were missing about 20 players.
Cauliflower ears start as blood in the tissues and then it develops into cartilage. Our coach used to swear by a bit of deep heat on your ears. Jesus, deep heat. Oh my God, that's bringing back cringe in my underpants.
Yeah, he put him to the jockstrap.
Fucking what you were fucking your underpants.
He had a nose redder than Rudolph's ears, worse than Roundtree, and a nose that could look like a staircase, though. All right, fair enough. Hold on, more comments, folks, as we're coming in. Here we go. Munster had great young guns players with old lads. Only round 3 in the URC. Never write off Munster rugby. True. Yeah, very true. Catherine Keegan, same with us. Thanks, Catherine. Someone else says, "Go, Sarah."
What did I do?
Okay. I don't know.
Do I have to go?
As a med student, not much you can do for those lumps on the sides of your head, although not like the forwards ever listen. Anyway, that's true. That is very true.
What?
Harry Sheridan, Ulster not mentioned. Awesome future talent. Harry Sheridan also not mentioned.
Well, we haven't got to them yet.
We haven't got to
them yet, for Christ's sake.
We haven't got to them yet.
Yeah, okay. Richard Holland, Connacht 22, Ulster 20. I saw this game, and I thought it was a great game.
Yeah.
It was enthralling, to say the least. I really enjoyed that game. What do you think of it, if you saw it?
I only seen bits and pieces of it now, but another worrying thing from an Ulster point of view is they collapsed again. They were 10 points clear, and
or
they just
17 points clear, 20 points to 3 they were.
Yeah. That's right.
17
Yes,
point
that's right.
lead.
just another collapse again. It's becoming an unfortunate habit. Fair play to Connacht that they never gave up, and I think on balance they probably deserved the win. But the fact that Ulster threw away another one, it's worrying for them. And it goes back to possibly their head coach been there too long and they're gone a little bit stale.
Well, who was it? Was it Peter Martin said it's Dan McFarland's season to shit or get off the pot?
I agree with that.
He has to do it, or out the door you go, son.
Oh, I agree with that, because
go on, Mike.
I don't think. I think they've gone backwards. I mean, they've regressed definitely from the beginning of last season. They were very, very good. But here's one. Can you think of even one Ulster player in the last year that has improved under McFarland? That looks a better player now than he was a year ago. There's very
what you call him?
Oh yeah, Tom Stewart, obviously.
Tom Stewart would be the only one that had jumped out for me.
And maybe the tight head prop, Tom O'Toole. Outside of that,
Yeah.
Outside of that, they're bringing nothing to the game. Like I mean, we had last season in the autumn internationals, Balakoon starting on the wing. What happened to him after that? He's gone completely. Come Six Nations, not even fucking heard of. Mike Lowry.
He went out for a fucking pizza and never came home.
Well, Mike Lowry again, another great hope, gone backwards. Stockdale.
Mike Lowry.
Stockdale was very good in 2018, but outside of that, he's bringing very little to the game now, and he wasn't. I watched that game the other night, and they were okay, as Richard said. Like for the first half, it looked like Connacht were going to get beaten out the gate, and they stopped playing. They seem to stop playing completely, and every aspect of their game, like got an injury and it didn't help him. Hume, though, I like him, by the way. I think James Hume now is a decent player, and I like Nathan Doak. I think he could be the real deal. And they had that young fella Flannery fly half. Definitely, Billy Burns is fucking forget about him. Like he's not the future anyway for Ulster rugby. But he's
fucking shite. And our friend Tim Kirkpatrick will agree. Tim loves Billy Burns.
Does he? Yeah.
About as much as you love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, see, guys, when guys come to their sell by date, they need to be fucking waned off and get in the younger lads. That's the future. I'm sorry, but it is. I know I'm an old fucker, so I shouldn't be saying things like that. But like when the youth come in, it's their turn. And
right, okay, folks, we're over the hour mark. Time flies when you're having fun. So briefly, all the provinces are in action next weekend. Sarah Duffy, I'll go to you first for your predictions. We've got
Ulster.
I
didn't want to talk about the Connacht or Ulster game, but yeah, go on with your predictions.
Oh, sorry, go on. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Go on.
I know I haven't got much to say. No, I just thought Connacht made hard work of it at the start. But I have to put out I thought Blade was very good until he got injured, which was really unfortunate. Carl Ford was another decent, promising player coming up through the ranks there too. I thought Jack Carty was a kind of like a village drunk.
He was a bit of a fucking Larry letdown, wasn't he?
And I think they should be letting Carl Ford do the kicking for the post when Carty is on. This is just my own opinion. But Jack Carty can't be missing points out of that if they want to do well this season.
Yeah, true.
I thought Ford and Farrell were brilliant in their backline, and they were the standout players for me. I'd love to actually have seen that Jake Flannery, that Tipperary-born player, I'd love to see him finish out a game. I think he's got great potential as a player. You know, like I suppose we all know what Billy Burns can do. Well, we think we do. But I think your man Flannery will be really excellent throughout, you know, a regular season, if you want to call it that. He steered Ulster very well when they had that 17-point lead. I'm almost sure, he'd be fairly consistent for Ulster. He looks like a really good leader. He makes big defensive plays. You know, he's got great grit as well for a young fella. I thought his attacking kicking game was brilliant. But, you know, when Ulster have to get into those knockout games, is he the figure you'd put, you know, in a knockout rugby game? But great comeback from Connacht. And, you know, I think Blade should be given a shot over Casey in a green jersey too. I'm going to fire that grenade in there.
Fair enough.
That's all good.
Right, okay. No, I was going to say, Jesus Christ.
There he is.
Hold on, Richard's gone for the last. There he is. Oh, I'm after removing him. Shit, sorry. There he is.
Jesus, you're nice like that.
Right, I know. Now we're over time, so the upcoming games, briefly, folks. We have the second Interpro. Richard, I'll go to you first. Ulster versus Munster.
Munster by 12, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right. That's confidence for you. Sarah?
Yeah, I agree with Richard.
Ulster v...
Munster by 12. You said keep it brief.
Mike?
Mike. It's on the plastic at King at the new plastic pitch, but Munster have obviously the Cork pitch is plastic as well, so they're kind of used to playing on it. I think Munster win it by at least maybe 10 or 12 points as well.
Okay, Mike, back to you. Edinburgh are hosting Connacht.
Ooh, Edinburgh Connacht. I think Connacht will do them. I do. I think Connacht will do them.
Really?
5-6 points.
All right, Sarah.
Connacht by 10.
Would you fuck off out of that? Would you stop? No,
I'm doing it just to get a reaction out of you.
I know you are. I know. Richard Holland.
Edinburgh versus tight Connacht. Tight game. I'm going to go Connacht by 6.
Ooh,
all right.
James,
Richard, back to you.
Listen.
James Grennan is probably firing one off now in the Jackson, a fucking train going through Holland somewhere.
Thinking about Blair Kinghorn.
Thinking about Blair Kinghorn, yeah, there you go. Richard, Dragons are...
No.
All right. Jesus. Sorry, what was I going to ask? Yes, Richard, sorry, yes. Dragons are... all right. Right.
Dragons v Leinster.
Dragons are entertaining. Dragons v Leinster, yeah. Dragons are entertaining Leinster. Richard, go for it.
Oh, thoughts and prayers to the Dragons. I think Leinster, they'll annihilate them. I know they were short of 20 players. They're probably still going to be short of 20 players. Leinster will probably improve on their performance from last week. They would have learned a lot from that.
Okay, fair enough. Sarah Duffy.
Leinster by 35.
35. All right. Okay. Mike.
They may bring in their medical staff, backroom staff and all.
I think Leinster could give them an absolute doing by 50 points.
Oh, I was going to say something else.
Don't say something like that to Sarah Duffy, because you just take the filth out of it. Right.
No, honestly,
a once over. They're going to get a once over.
Right. Okay. Right, folks. That is unfortunately it for this week. So my thanks are to Mike Reedy, Sarah Duffy, the legend. Richard Holland, the legend. And I never called Mike Reedy a legend, but he is a legend in Scotland. Folks,
Legend.
thank you very much. And we shall chat again next week when we have our special guest on. And you all know who it is, but we're not going to say it yet. Good night. Good luck. Take care, folks. And thank
Good night,
you.
Night, folks. Good luck.
Always
Take
a
care. See you
pleasure.
soon.